Hello and welcome back to the Jazz Ranch. Thanks for joining me. I have something special to tell you about Latin music this evening. And maybe you're asking about why I'm wearing the dark glasses and the hat. Well, it has a lot to do with the fact that I like it and it's my bebop persona. And anyway, Duke Ellington said this: by and large, jazz has always been the kind of man you wouldn't want your daughter to associate with. I think that's kind of funny. Anyway, another one he said is playing bop is like playing Scrabble with all the vowels missing. Anyway, he also said the great quote, "It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing." Well, this evening I want to show you some music that swings, but not in the way that we think of traditional swinging with swing eights, but with straight eights, and it's Latin music. So Antonio Carlos Jobim. Starting out, I just want to say this was a request by a subscriber to play a Latin rhythm, and also specifically the song "Girl From Ipanema," which was a famous composition by Antonio Carlos Jobim. Probably his most well-known composition. Is probably as popular as Misty or any of the great standards. And this is not an easy task because there's contrast going on between the two hands rhythmically. In other words, the left hand may be playing on the beat while the right hand is playing off the beat or on the upbeat. And if the left hand is playing on the upbeat, then the right hand may be playing on the downbeat. So to get this rhythm together with both hands is not easy. But for intermediate to more advanced people, you may be able to get something out of this. For the beginners, I'll try to simplify it as best I can. But first thing to understand is that this is straight eighths. In other words, it's like eighth notes are dot, 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 dot. They're straight. They're not swing like dot, dot, dot. They're not swing eighths. So that's the underlying rhythm. And I'm playing this bass line, which goes from the root to the fifth. So if you counted it, it would be like this: 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and. That's as simple as it gets. You could do it right on one note if you wanted to. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and. Or you could just play 1. Like that, but that would be too boring. So like you have to at least have something like that: 1, 2, and 3, 4. You can slow it down, or you can take it as slow as you want it. I always recommend starting something out slow. Don't play at the tempo that I played it, but play it slow to start. So now you might have this: 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3. Or you might have this better: 1, 2, and 3, like that. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3. That's a little more interesting, like 1, 2, and 3, 4, and Now I'll put the left hand in on the chord, like maybe just simple, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Now, what I'm doing between the two hands is contrasted by the fact that the melody is being played up here, but I'm putting in the chord voicing here. Now I just have the simple bass line down here. Now one variation of that is this. That's a little more complex, but a little more interesting. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so here's the introduction. See, now I'm reversing. There I reversed it between the left and right hand. The first part of the introduction I played with the left hand playing the downbeat, then I switched it to the right hand. That's not easy to figure out, but now I have to play the melody and keep that going, but I can't. I do the best that I can. In the spaces where this is playing, I play simpler here. When this is playing more busy, then this is simple. When this is just holding a note, holding a chord and a note, then I'm focused on the left hand. So that's it. So the other bass line I played was this. And then I went to here. Now that's another one. Root, fifth, then down an octave. So that's, let me show you those two bass lines. And then there's this one. Notice how 1, 2, and that's ahead of the beat. That's what you want to achieve eventually. Now that's not easy. This is not easy to play. Unless maybe you're from Latin America, it's easy for you. Now continuing, if you want to really learn to play this song as a solo piano piece, you know, if you're playing it with a rhythm section, then you can just play it. You can just play it. You don't have to play that bass line because there'll be a bass player playing it, so it's easier. But to play both contrasting right hand and left hand movements, you need to practice. So the thing I would do is start out very simple with the left hand doing this. Sort of like the beginning of Song from My Father by Horace Silver. Then go right on the beat, because you got to learn it on the beat before you can learn it off the beat, right? It's more difficult off the beat, so learn it on the beat first, like this. Let's try it. Maybe even this. I'm changing it to simplify it now. Now I'm losing the rhythm, you know. So how do you do that? Well, I don't know how I do it. I guess just a lot of practice to get independence in rhythm between the two hands. It's like I'm not thinking about either hand. I'm just letting it happen. I practice each hand separately. Like that, and then practice. See, this tends to play off the beat. 1 pa pa. That's off the beat. 1 pa 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 pa. It's off the beat. And if you play it all on the beat, square like that, it's not going to sound right. It'll sound like this. You have to notice the difference between on the beat. It doesn't sound right, no. See, now in the Latin music they use the clave or the cowbell to establish where the beat is. The conga player's playing, but everybody else, like the keyboard player's playing off the beat, the singers are singing off the beat, everything is off the beat, and that contrast between the rhythm and the melody and everything else makes it authentically Latin music. No. ask me, how did I learn this? By listening to Latin music a lot, and people like Cal Tjader, who was Swedish and he was from the Midwest. He became one of the greatest Latin players in the world of all time. And George Shearing, an English blind guy from England, a white guy, became one of the greatest Latin pianists of all time, you know. So it's pretty fascinating. Of course, what I'm talking about is Latin jazz now. I mean, the authentic players, people like Tito Puente, Ray Barretta, you know, Eddie Palmieri, Armando Peraza, authentic Latin players, but also a lot of them, like Willie Bobo, played with American jazz musicians, including Stan Getz. He brought the Bossa Nova to the United States and brought Galbertos and Antonio Carlos Jobim here to the United States and incorporated jazz with Latin. It was a great marriage. Anyway, that's basically what I'm playing here. So looking at the rhythms again, you could practice this bass line or this one. You see how now they tend to alternate, the right and left hand tend to alternate between who's playing, this guy or this guy playing on the beat or off the beat. So there's always that interplay between the two in the rhythm. Now, good way to practice it is use a metronome. So we'll look at that. I have the metronome set to around 110. We'll call it the quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, that stabilizes. If I'm playing on the beat, it's. If I'm playing off the beat, it's. Put the right hand on the beat. So we'll go. Let's go back to like. That's on the beat. That's a little slower than I played it. Let's try to go up the tempo here. Now you see how that stabilizes it and I stay on the beat. So this is really a great tool to have and to use, you know, because really your left hand is really maintaining the beat, maintaining the solidifying it and keeping it steady. So it's very important to practice with a metronome. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about how I got through the bridge. We'll continue. On the bridge, I didn't really maintain this rhythm because, first of all, it would be kind of boring. I need to change things on the bridge. So when I did, let's do it, go to the bridge. Rhythm is still there, but now I'm doing different kinds of things. So I'm putting tenths in now, like that. So I'm doing 1, 5, 10. Now before I was just doing 1 to 5 and maybe down. Now I'm doing 1, 10, but I'm still got the mindset. What I'm thinking about is that rhythm, that underlying eighth note rhythm, and the you know, it's not swing, it's Latin. Not easy, but so there's that tenth again. I can move the harmony up like that. There's a flat 5 in there. I don't think that's ever been written. Well, a few times in some songs it's been written, but that was one of the more unique things about the tune is how that end of the bridge ended up on a flat 5. Okay, that's the flat 5 of D7, G minor, flat 5 of C7. So now on the improv, I'm not going to really talk about that much, but if you'd like me to do another video on this, I'll talk about the scales on the bridge. Main thing I wanted to focus on is getting that rhythm, trying to play this very slowly and get a Latin rhythm going. And use the metronome because it's really going to help you a lot to really keep that rhythm steady, and that's important to developing your musicianship and also to be able to play with other musicians. So there you have it. Okay, cool daddies and groovy chicks, we're going to sign off now. I'm glad you joined me for this little lesson about Latin music, and sorry about the dark glasses. Too many years in Hollywood, you know, I was used to being a musician in these dark clubs and so on. When I got out to Hollywood with all the bright lights, it ruined my eyes. But anyway, until next time, I'll say swing loose, and we'll see you next time around the block. Take care. Bye-bye.